Hello everyone, this is going to be a strategy video for MinecraftSurvivalGames.com. I've been spending way too much time playing these games, so I'd figure I'd get some use out of it and make a video to help others as well. Now just to know that this video was made in May 2012, so if this video was uploaded quite a while ago, odds are things have changed since then. Just keep that in mind. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen the survival games that those popular Minecrafters have been playing. But the games that are hosted over at MinecraftSurvivalGames.com work a bit differently. For one, they have over 30 servers that run continuously and are fully automated. Now, unlike the maps you can download, the chests in these games are actually randomized. Now, you'll find basic things like leather armor, ingots, and fishing poles, along with axes, swords, arrows, bows, that kind of stuff. So don't waste time climbing a building for just one chest. Now in the city map, you can find a lot better stuff in the center. They're still randomized, but you can find things like diamonds, iron armor, cooked food, boats, stuff like that. Now only 1 or 2 swords spawn in the center, so you have a really good chance of getting out of there alive. So it's definitely worth it to go to the middle. Now in the first map, most of the servers spawn regular stuff in the middle, but plan accordingly if you start seeing people with iron armor and such. Now notice that while you're waiting for the game to start, the map won't let you leave your starting platform. Now the nice thing about this setup is you can start sprinting and jumping before you've been released. So when it finally does release everyone, you get a good start. Another thing I suggest is that you roll your mouse wheel all the way to the right. That way if you get a sword from a chest, you can shift click it and it'll be put right into your hand. But I just use it for self-defense because it's really frustrating to die in the beginning. Afterwards, put your sword in the first slot so that you can push the number 1 key to easily get access to it. Then I recommend putting your bow in the second slot. Now if you don't get a sword, you want to get out of there as soon as you can, because probably someone else has. So if you're checking the other chests, which have undoubtedly been emptied, the same thing could happen to you that happened to this guy. Now if you're hungry, eat any food that you may have. Don't wait until you have enough empty food bars to eat a steak. Eat a raw pork chop instead. The last thing you want is someone attacking you without the ability to heal. Now if you want to get good at these games, you want to find a path of chests. And the best ways to do this is just to fly around looking for each chest that's closest to the next one. You can also follow along other players to find even more chests. I've played these games so much that I can get access to up to 14 chests before the first day is over. And it really takes time to outline them all. Now just after dusk, all of the chests are restocked with random items. And in the city map, again, the middle chests are always spawned with better stuff. So when it starts getting dark, you're gonna want to get to the middle, otherwise you're toast. Now obviously, other people are gonna try to get to the middle too. So be prepared to fight for it. Usually I have a bow and some arrows, some decent armor, and a stone or iron sword by the time the sun sets. So what I like to do is hide up in the trees and wait to see if any other people come. If someone does, I rush towards them while they're looking in the chests, and I have the chance for a surprise attack. If you don't watch your back, you could easily be killed. After getting everything I need, I usually hide up in the trees for a few minutes. Staying in the middle will just scare people away. If no one comes, then I start scouting them out. Now if you happen to find a team in the middle, well, there's not much you can do other than attack them. Again, if you wait until after the chests are restocked, then you have the chance for a surprise attack. But even then, my ultimate goal is to get at least one of them before they get me. And if you like, you can hold a weaker weapon to try to trick people into thinking you're vulnerable. Now on the first map, there's actually another area that has just as many chests as the middle does. Starting from the middle and traveling east, you'll find this cove with an abandoned ship in it, and I believe it has 8 to 10 chests inside it. If the middle doesn't have any special things inside it, or there's a team stalking the place, this is a great alternative. I usually don't go here right away because a lot of other players like to as well, and there's usually a lot of mobs in there, so I don't like to go in there unprepared. It's usually after dusk that I take my first dive in there. Now for hand-to-hand combat, there's not much to suggest other than run towards them and try to break your left mouse button as fast as you can. If you can sneak up on them, that's all the better, but usually that's a noob if you get the chance. The best thing to do is to get the better stuff before they do. Now when attacking someone in the water, try to get underneath them because gravity will push them back towards you. I learned this the hard way. Also, if the other guy has better stuff, you can use fishing poles to keep them away, though keep in mind that it does very little to no damage at all. And remember not to underestimate the use of crafting tables. You can get an iron sword, arrows, even some armor if you have enough ingots. Now, as for blocks, you of course can't break them. They'll just simply respawn. But what this means is that you can get access to certain chests. Like right here, all you gotta do is break the block, jump up, wait for it to respawn, and then jump up again. In this particular puzzle, you need a bucket of water to cool the lava, but you can just simply break the ground and get the chest from it. But of course, even if you wanted to waste iron ingots on a bucket, you wouldn't be able to place the water because it'll just disappear again. Now, after you die, you can simply click anywhere to be teleported to a person. Oh yeah, and don't eat spider eyes. Alright, so that's all I have for the game strategies, but there's some other miscellaneous things I would like to mention as well. Now, the peak game hours are during the afternoons of North America and the early evenings. If you'd like to play during this time, you're lucky to get in any game at all. Usually after someone leaves, that spot is immediately taken up. Just look at this screenshot I have of every person that left and someone joined immediately after them. And another thing to note, the European servers are usually less crowded, so if you can't get in a game in the US servers, that's another alternative, though they are slightly laggy. And I'm sure that's the same case for Europeans trying to get access to the US servers as well. But during the weekday evenings of North America, usually things have died down quite a bit and you can get into any game while the lobby is still open. But to make things easier, I have compiled a list of all of the servers in my server.dat file. I have put a link in the description for you to download it. You just need to save this file in your .minecraft folder. Though keep in mind that if you have other servers saved, you're going to want to have to back that up somewhere else because you'll overwrite it if you try to copy it in there. Now, one problem I had playing these games, well, it wasn't necessarily related to the games itself, but just to playing multiplayer games in general. Since the city map is so complex, I had frequent Minecraft crashes. And I tried lots of stuff to fix it, but nothing really worked, until I heard that you could install 64-bit Java. And this is available right from the Java website. The only disadvantage is that you have to update it yourself. So it's definitely worth downloading. Now, when you're waiting in the game lobby for that 5 minutes to finish up, here's some things to kill time. You can break the glass and jump up on top of it, and then you can jump down into this little trench and break the glowstone, and then you can fall down, and if you have a bad connection, then you'll be able to see the city around. It's, yeah, kind of fun. Then there's also what's called the party holes, where people like to come and just, everyone will jump in. If there's only one player in there, and if someone keeps the door open, it is possible to jump out by breaking the block, but otherwise, yeah, just some stuff to help kill time. Now, if they could only get a parkour course in here. And the last thing I have to say is there's a few commands that you can use. There's the suicide command, and the only thing I can think to use this for is if you get stuck in a hole, like right in this area, and you can use that if you want to be courteous to the other people waiting so that the game will end faster. The last two players will be teleported to the middle for the last battle, but it'll be a lot longer wait if one player isn't doing anything. And there's the info command. This is also helpful if you want to know right away how many tributes are left in the game, or if the server has both maps loaded. Some of them only have one. So if you see one without a 2, that's the first map. If you see one with a 2, that's the city map. There is also the help command, but only do that if you want to upset a fairy. Alright, so that's about everything I have to say. One warning though, this is extremely addictive. If you've already been sucked into the games though, then maybe this video was helpful to you. But if you can manage your time moderately, then yeah, more power to you. It's a lot of fun. Well, if you guys found this video helpful, then feel free to subscribe to be notified of future videos. And I also make a daily Minecraft series that might be worth checking out. So, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.